Hello everyone and welcome to this week's weekly wear where thanks to one of you all here on my channel I was alerted to a new product from Wet n Wild that has the possibility of being very good. Apparently it's so good someone telepathically heard me talking about it through my phone and they wanted to text me saying, yes, you're gonna like it. I hope so anyways. This is the Wet n Wild BareFocus Tinted Hydrator Tinted Skin Veil with hyaluronic acid and squalene in it. It's about $6 depending on where you buy it. If you want to do it through Wet n Wild's website or Ulta, you know, please, my affiliate link is always down below for Rakuten. Get you some money off or some cash back. But yeah, apparently squalane, I mean, I don't know anything about squalane, but apparently it must not be naturally vegan. Just since Wet n Wild took the time to say that it is a vegan squalane, and it's a one-way ticket to quenched perfection. It's gonna provide buildable sheer to medium coverage with a semi-matte finish for a naturally flawless and nourished glow. I mean, that sounds fantastic to me. It's multi-purpose and convenient somehow. I don't know what the multi-purposeness is quite yet, they haven't said, but you just tap, blend, and build to your preferred coverage for hydrated, radiant, instant perfection. Maybe it's the fact that it's buildable coverage and has hydration in it that it multi-purposes. Like they're trying to say you can use this as a moisturizer and a concealer and a skin tint? I'm not sure. Either way, it's cruelty-free, fragrance-free, paraben-free, and vegan. And they specifically say that you should apply this to primed skin with fingers before using any other preferred blending tools. Okay, fair enough, Wet n Wild. Let's get started. Get you zoomed in, and they did say to have a primed face, but for y'all, since many of you all don't use primers, you like seeing me test out foundations and whatnot without a primer, so day one here, I'm not gonna use any kind of a primer. I chose the shade Fair. Oh my gosh, I didn't tell you guys about the shade range here. Apparently there's 12 shades. I picked this up at Target, and I don't think they had 12 shades at Target. They were all very similar shades of beige, so I just picked one that I hoped would be best. But just looking at this online and remembering the shade range that I had to choose from at Target, it doesn't seem great. But okay, now let's go ahead and give this a try. Also, you don't get a fluid ounce in this. You get 0.91 fluid ounce of product, just for anyone who cares about that. Boop, boop. Also has a safety seal, which I was very happy to see at Target. I've had to get into the habit of checking to see if, you know, products have been opened, because I mean, that was gross even pre-2020, but I don't need people touching things that I'm about to rub all over my body. So they specified fingers first. I can do that. Ooh. It smells fragrance free. It doesn't smell like a typical foundation, but kind of, with a hint of wet cardboard to it. So let's see how much coverage we can get upon first application here. Rubbed into the skin on one side of my face. Been a minute since I've used a tinted tinted moisturizer, whatever you're gonna want to call it. But with summer on the horizon, I'm likely gonna be wearing more of these. But okay, it's not blended yet, don't worry. I'm gonna blend it out with a sponge here now. It looks like it gave decent coverage, honestly. I would say a little bit, no, maybe we'll still call it sheer. I was about to say it was a little more than sheer. Definitely think it might be a good color match too, so yay! I don't know, the tube looked a little dark for me, but it definitely did even things out. I mean, I know this is kind of having been someone with very blemished skin in the past, and I'm sure I will in the future, just kind of the nature of my skin and dermatillomania and testing new products, etc. Apparently I used way more on this side. So blended. Beautiful. Ready for the day. I feel very lucky to be able to use just a tinted moisturizer these days and feel good in my skin, but it has been so nice not feeling like I need foundation, you know? So I really hope this works so that I can have a nice tint, a skin tint to have in my collection. I mean, shoot, that looks really nice on the skin. I honestly probably wouldn't even try building it up if not for the claim that it can be built up, and I want to be able to show you guys that. And you know, in future days of testing I'll be using concealer and stuff, so I can just do one layer of this. But since they did advertise it as buildable, I do want to go ahead and see if I can get a little bit more coverage. I really don't think I need a ton more or anything. It does feel quite hydrating going on. Feels like a nice moisturizer, and it does look like it's kind of drying down to be a matte finish. Oh please, makeup gods, please let this last on my skin because it looks gorgeous upon first application, and I don't say that lightly. This looks incredible. It looks so good. It looks natural, skin-like. I would say more of a satin rather than a matte. I don't know, maybe it'll dry down further, but it does have that kind of radiant, dewy look to it. It feels very lightweight. I would say it feels like I'm wearing something on my skin, but a very lightweight something on my skin. I just think that blended out beautifully, and it's making me do a hair fluff, so like typically that's a pretty good sign. So as I said, I'm impressed, I'm floored, I'm excited. I'm gonna get on with my day, live my life, and we shall see how this wears. I'll give you all that insight in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. It is the end of the night here on day one of testing. I am just starting to feel a little bit... Honey, I did not ask your opinion. I'm sure you'll continue to give it to me anyways, but I am just starting to feel a bit oily here. I have, you know, mainly just been working today, but it has been a day. It has been a day of wear, and I'm mostly impressed. I mean, the fact that I'm just starting to feel oily after what, like 9.5, 10 hours. And with my oils, I think is where I'm starting to notice a little bit of funkiness around my chin, like underneath my lip. It looks like it's getting a little splotchy, and it looks like it's starting to rub off a little bit underneath one of my glasses rim areas where if I smile, my cheeks touch. Also, P.S. yes, I know my mascara, I'm testing new mascaras, so they're not all gonna look great at the end of the day. But either way, I am happy with how this looks. I can only imagine it's gonna continue to look better on further days of testing with primer and whatnot, so I'm real excited to do so. I'm excited to take you guys along with me to see how it does. Fingers crossed, and we will find out how it does in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. It is the end of the night here on day 3 of testing, and do I have news for y'all. But before I tell you whether it's good news or bad news, let me continue fanning myself to cool myself down while I give you the rundown on how things went the past couple days. So on day 2 of wear, I went ahead and wore my Ciaté London Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. I actually think that might be the full name of it. And then I also used my L'Oreal Full Cover Concealer and just a layer of this foundation. I don't think I layered, you'll see in the footage. I don't think I had to layer the foundation because I used the concealer, but either way, I applied it the same way I did on day 1, just rubbed it in with my fingers, you know, blended it very well with my fingers, and then continued to blend it very well with a sponge. I actually do think that the application was very easy. Once again, it blends out beautifully with a sponge. It looks so natural, so skin-like, so delightful. Just a fabulous experience. Looked natural, looked fresh, and once again throughout the day it was lightweight, didn't notice any transfer onto my fingers whenever I would touch my face, and at the end of the night I thought that it had faded super gracefully, like barely any transfer. I noticed a couple spots, you know, in my usual places around my nose, my chin area, where I must touch my face more throughout the day, if at all. But like I said, it faded so gracefully. It looked really nice for having been worn for 10.5 hours, and I was barely shiny, right? Like, for a full day of wear, I thought it looked pretty dang good. So I was real excited to try it out again here on day 3 with my Holy Grail primer, my Guerlain Beautiful Balls, and once again used my L'Oreal Full Cover Concealer, as well as once again just squirted it onto my face very, very clean and neat like, and then blended it out with my fingers. Once again, very, very clean and neat like, and then once again, used a sponge to blend it out. I really do just think that this looks so gorgeous on the skin. It applied so beautifully once again. It was easy and just nice. All day today. I had a busy full day. It was Mother's Day today, and because vaccinations have been had, I was so glad we were able to go out to eat safely to celebrate Mother's Day, as well as, you know, went on a walk with her and the pups, and just overall had a really good day. But, you know, mask was on and off, you know, to get to the restaurant and all of that, and yet super nice, super lightweight. I have had bouts of being sweaty here and there, and yet I feel just fine. I was never worried that my foundation was coming off, because it wasn't. It wasn't coming off on my mask. It's not coming off on my fingers. It doesn't feel greasy. It doesn't feel oily. It feels secure. It feels so nice. And once again, it looks real nice at the end of the night here, considering how on and off my mask was. I think you can barely tell. I think the transfer is so minimal, just a graceful fade, considering I've had this on for 12.5 hours. Like, do you need a pros and a cons list? I'll give it to you, but I don't think it's gonna be too surprising. Not after all of that. So, real quick, because I just listed these off multiple times already, but tons of pros here. First off, easy application. Second off, buildable coverage. Love it. Flawless. Gorgeous. Looks natural, looks skin-like. It is lightweight throughout wear, whether you're oily, whether you're sweaty. It does great with oily skin. That's me. And yet I still look not matte, but I don't look greasy at all. I haven't blotted my face today. But yet it's had a graceful fade. It has been long lasting. I'm inclined to say it's transfer proof. I mean, obviously it does fade, but like, I would feel comfy and secure giving someone a hug. Now granted, I wouldn't want them to hug me and smush my face into their chest and give me a good old motorboating, but I don't think I want that regardless of whether I have on foundation or not. So, fairly transfer proof, I'm gonna say it. The only con that I can really think of is the shade range, right? I do believe from my memory bank of a few days ago when I started testing this and I looked at the shade range, not great. And furthermore, when I was in store looking at the shades, not great. So that is a huge bummer, because this should be available for all skin colors. I mean, just in general, but also just for the oily skinned beauties out there. I feel like we have far fewer choices in what foundations work well for us. Now, this is not a pity me moment, but it really is a hallelujah. Let me share all of the knowledge with all of the other oily skinned people, because this is fabulous, and I wouldn't know about it unless the oily skinned knowledge was shared with me. So thank you so much once again to the viewer that told me about this foundation. I am just blown away. I am so excited, especially, I mean, I'm never excited going into summer. Like, I dread these months coming up where it is hot and I am sweaty and uncomfortable the whole time. However, this is a foundation that I am excited to test out for the summer. I think it's gonna do great, and it's affordable, it's cruelty-free vegan, like I just... That shade range though. Frustrating. However, if you do have oily skin and you can find a color that will work for you, Oh, do I highly recommend it to the oily skinned people. I would say oily and combo. I don't think anyone with dry skin would fare well with this. I could be wrong. You all can let me know though in those comments down below if you have tried out this foundation and what kind of skin do you have and how did it work for you. G apparently has tried this out without my knowledge. Baby, I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm glad you enjoyed. Okay, yeah, that's a personal choice. But yeah, let me know all the things. If you have any other recommendations for me or just products you're curious about me testing in a future weekly wear video, please let me know all of the things down below. You can also let me know if you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, whatever the case may be, by giving it a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap that notification bell down below and become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye.